everyone. This is Queen of Light 1111. I am here to share with you your weekend reading. Okay, I pulled a lot of different cards because this is the long weekend here in the United States. It's Labor Day weekend. So, this is your energy check in for the weekend because I will not be posting another reading on YouTube probably until Tuesday of next week. Okay, so I wanted to give you an extended read where we go over kind of our usual format, and we have the Divine Masculine. You can't see his cards too much, but I will show you each card as I go over them. So we have Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. We have their head, heart, and 3D space. We have 3D messages to each, 3D messages from the feminine to the masculine and masculine to the feminine. We have current connective energies. We have what are the blocks to the union today, and then future energies. And then we will go over the bottom of the deck. And then as I was getting ready to record this, I saw that I had two cards fly out way underneath my computer. And as I was getting ready to get my mouse, I saw these cards. And so I was not inclined to go back and redo this whole shuffle for the connective energies, and I took them as two separate messages from Spirit. Okay, so I'll go over those when I at the very end of the reading. Okay, so before I get started, I wanted to remind everybody that if you do want to book your own personal reading with me, my website is queenoflight1111.com. So please go to my website. I have a bunch of different service offerings. I do Akashic Records readings. So if you're interested in where you are or what you're here for as far as your twin flame contract is concerned, I do Akashic Records reading on that contract. I also do twin flame energy check-ins as well as an extended read that goes over blocks like these. It's not quite as extensive, but it's definitely an energy check-in with blockages and current and future energies. I also provide coaching on the twin flame journey. I also provide coaching on the career coaching, executive coaching. A list of what my offerings are on my website. So please go to queenoflight1111.com. As a reminder, I'm also on Instagram. I do post free readings on Instagram as well. And my username on Instagram is queenoflight1111. So please follow me there if you're not already. And thank you all so much for all the support. I love all the comments I get. I love your own interpretation of the readings, as you see them and as you see the cards. So I really appreciate that, and I'm open to the feedback. I'm open to your insight, but just do know these are general readings, and so what I am really trying to tap into is the collective. And so either some of this will resonate or some of it won't. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so again, thank you so much again for all of your support, for your subscribes, for your likes, for following me on Instagram, for all your comments. Thank you so much for your business and for booking readings with me and coaching sessions with me. And thank you to all of you who've donated. I am so truly touched by all of you, and that exchange of energy touches my heart. So I'm a little emotional even as I say that out loud to you guys. So thank you so much. I love the work that I do. I love being here and sharing this information. I love being on this journey with all of you. So thank you again. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we have first, I want to go over the Divine Masculine. And we have a lot of repeating cards here again. They are very much mirroring each other again. But they are making some progress. When I'm looking at this holistically as a spread, I am noticing that old wounds are being processed yet again. Old wounds around deception, around karmic partners. Both are processing their actions. He's processing his actions, and she is processing his actions as well. And it's very much, they need to kind of heal and process this in their own individual spaces before union. I mean, it is very, very clear that they are, the wounds are open yet again, okay? And this is why I say that, because in the bottom of the deck for the Divine Masculine, we have the Three of Swords, which is about heartache, which is about loss. This also is third party situations, which very much comes up in this reading. So, and it's not happening, so don't get triggered. So there's no more third party. But what I'm saying is that he is processing what he did, and she is processing it as well at the same time, which is just amazing because she has the Three of Swords in the bottom of her deck as well. So they both have the Three of Swords. I really wish that I was a better shuffler like Mystic Moon, and that you could see how this, flies out and how this all happens. But I know you all trust me, and I wanted to save you the time of my shuffling. And so I will tell you, they're very much in this overall energy and in this space of heartbreak, of loss. They're processing this third party situation, and he feels like he's lost his partner, and he's processing that, and it is sending him into this vibe where it's even more that he wants his feminine now. And for the feminine, how she's processing it is, she's still kind of over processing this information, but she knows she wants him too. And so I think this is very healthy that they are processing this Three of Swords energy, this heartbreak, this loss, this pierced heart. They are processing this at the same time, okay? At the same time. This is the underlying energy of both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. They are both in the Three of Swords. It's the first time in my whole career on YouTube that I've seen that, where they both have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck, or any matching card at the bottom of the deck. So this collective couple has been on the same track. Now, before they were on different pages, they have been on the same page since July. They have started mirroring for the last 4 weeks, and they are very much clearing out these old wounds so that they can come back to union. I mean, we're getting some of the same cards. So, okay, I'm going to stop rambling, but Three of Swords for the masculine, Three of Swords for the feminine, underlying energy. Okay, where is he in his overall headspace? When he thinks of his divine feminine, where is he? He's in the Eight of Swords energy. He's in the Five of Pentacles. He has the Empress, which is the divine feminine in the 3D. In his headspace, he's thinking about his feminine. And then he has the Strength card. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. Because he's in the Three of Swords energy, as the underlying current of this reading for him, he is very much trapped in his thoughts. Okay, he's trapped in his thoughts. He's trapped. It's self-inflicted because he can get out of this. He's trapped in his thoughts. He's trapped in this obsessive thinking about his behavior, what has happened, what has occurred, right? What has occurred? He rejected, he abandoned his feminine. This is the Five of Pentacles. And the feminine is right here, the Empress. So these three cards together is what it's telling me is he is overly processing, which is, a good thing, that he's processing this pain, this rejection, this situation that he put his divine feminine, the Empress, through. And he knows he rejected her, he abandoned her. So what he's doing at this time with this Strength card is he's starting to get some strength to process this information. He is also trying to tame his ego, tame his feelings, tame his thoughts. And, he's really wanting to move forward through this pain with strength, okay? So at this time, in his headspace, he's trying to get strong. He's trying to tame himself and his egos and his emotions. He knows that he rejected and abandoned his feminine, the Empress. And so at this time, because he's in the underlying energy of the Three of Swords, he is trapped in his thoughts, okay? So it's an appropriate card for the mental space, for the headspace. This is where the Divine Masculine is in his headspace, okay? So now let's look at the divine feminine. So remember, she has the Three of Swords as well, okay? So now 5 cards flew out for her, and I took them. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Seven of Swords. This is the second repeating card. So the first was the Three of Swords. Now we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords comes out in his 3D space, okay? So Seven of Swords. Then we have the King of Cups, and then we have Judgment. So again, this is why I'm saying they're healing. There's like wounds. There was this karmic partner. There was deception. There was betrayal with the Three of Swords. So what is she doing? What is she doing? She is looking for the times to change. Okay, she wants this relationship to take its turn, for the tides to change, for the wheel to turn, for this karmic cycle to end in her headspace, because she's been processing this deception, this lie, this cheating that occurred, because she's looking for him to come to her and ask for forgiveness. I mean, she wants Judgment Day in her headspace. She wants Judgment Day. She wants him to come forward, to communicate, to give her clarity, to ask for her forgiveness, right, for this betrayal that occurred. And this is the King of Cups. The King of Cups, you know, is an emotionally mature person. This is a person who's balanced in their mind space as well as their heart space. And so this could be, you know, the masculine in her mind space. So then we have this Two of Wands, which is about paths and planning, and it's about, you know, what path to take. She's kind of unsure, right? Because she's planning, she's trying to figure out which path to take. She's processing the Seven of Swords, this deceit, this betrayal, that cheating. The Judgment card, she hasn't received her hasn't received a message yet, any type of communication or request for forgiveness, right? From this King of Cups. Again, it could be the masculine. I'm seeing this as the masculine's energy. And she wants things to change. She's just kind of done with the cycle, done with the wounds, done with the deception and the betrayal and the processing of that over and over again. So she's very much in her headspace about the Seven of Swords energy. She wants him to come to her, come forward with, and ask for forgiveness so that they can have a renewal, a rebirth, and then this cycle can end. That is where she is in her headspace, okay? Now, where is the divine masculine in his heart space, okay? In his heart space, he is in the Hierophant's energy, the King of Pentacles. So if your masculine is a earth sign, the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. We have the Two of Wands. This is the next repeating card because Two of Wands was in her headspace. It's in his heart space. We have the King of Wands. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so here's what I'm getting from this. He definitely is planning, okay? So while she is in this position, the Two of Wands, of like what path to take, right? He is also in this planning mode, right? But he knows what he's planning. He wants to plan for a commitment. The Hierophant is about marriages. It's about commitment. It's about contracts. And he has found his confidence, the King of Wands. This could be a fire sign, okay? This is about him finding his confidence, and his, self-esteem is getting better so that he can move forward and make this decision to make a commitment and truly commit to his partner, the divine feminine. He's gotten his self-esteem back. He's gained his confidence back. And with the King of Pentacles energy and the Eight of Pentacles energy together, what I'm getting is, he wants to have a strong, stable relationship. He wants to commit. Eight of Pentacles is a card of, commitment to, your job, your craft, but this is his heart space. So he is wanting to make a commitment. He wants to dedicate himself and commit himself, okay? And really take on this contract with his feminine in his heart space. So he has made a decision. He has made a decision with this Two of Wands energy to come forward as the King of Wands with self-esteem, with good self-esteem, with energy, with zest. He's going to be a leader. He's going to move forward. He wants to make the commitment. He wants to honor this contract. He wants to offer her something stable and honest and something that they can build on. And he's ready to commit himself and his heart to his divine feminine. So that's what I'm getting for his heart space. Okay, that's what came out. So now in her heart space, we have 4 cards here. In her heart space, we have the Devil, we have Death, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the match to the King of Pentacles. So if you, divine feminine, are an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, this is our first match of quartz, okay? So Queen of Pentacles, and then the last is 2 of Swords. So in her heart space, she's processing a lot, right? She's in the 7 of Swords energy in her head. She's thinking about what decision she makes. The only decision that she knows that she's making is that he needs to come forward with an apology, okay? And the only thing that she's sure of is that she wants things to change with this Wheel of Fortune card. She wants to go into something, a better time with this relationship, okay? So with this Devil card, what I'm getting is she may be having a little bit of obsessive thoughts around her heartache, around her pain, around this deceit, around this betrayal. So the Devil is about obsessive thoughts, right? It's about obsessive thoughts. It's about, overly processing of information. So she's very much, even in her heart space, processing this event that occurred in their relationship. She has seen the death of this relationship. She's processing this with a 3 of Swords as a death, that this relationship has died, right? I mean, the 7 of Swords and the 3 of Swords together is deceit, betrayal. I mean, he killed this relationship, and now she is looking for a rebirth of it, okay? The Queen of Pentacles here is the female energy, is the feminine energy, and it's the match to the King of Pentacles in the heart space. So we have the King and the Queen now, okay? So they're matching in their heart space. So again, special message, if you're both masculine and feminine, are earth signs. So, this is the divine feminine's energy. She's, wanting to be well balanced and well rounded, and this is definitely her energy, but she's at the 2 of Swords right now. She's kind of at a stalemate. She doesn't know in her heart, she doesn't know what direction she's going to go in at this time. Again, very consistent with this 2 of Wands here. 2 of Wands is typically about planning and making decisions, but she, with this 3 of Swords and 7 of Swords, and now this 2 of Swords in her heart space, she's really not sure, right? She does, again, like I said, what is she sure about? She's sure she wants the masculine to come forward and ask for forgiveness, okay? So in her heart space, she's not sure. She is overly processing this energy, this ending of the relationship in her head and in her heart. And, she's the Queen of Pentacles. This is the feminine energy. So in her heart space, she's a little challenged, right? The 3 of Swords is about heartbreak. The 3 of Swords is about loss. And she's definitely feeling that with the 7 of Swords and the Devil and the Death card. So no wonder she's in a place of indecision at this time. He has hurt her, and this wound has opened up again somehow. Or maybe she's actually facing this and she's going through the pain yet again for a final processing. So that is what is happening in her heart space. So as you all know, I'm very big on 3D. So where is the divine masculine in the 3D? Okay, well, in the 3D, he has the Queen of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. So in the 3D, this could be, the feminine energy. I'm taking it as the feminine's energy, right? So fire sign. So if you are a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, okay, and that again could be your sun, your moon, your rising, your ascending, what have you, because we have the earth sign Queen of Pentacles here, right, as the match to his heart space. Now we have the Queen of Wands still in his space in the 3D. So I'm taking this as the 3D energy of the feminine and how he may be viewing her. And he has the King of Wands in his heart space. So there's that second match, okay? So what I'm seeing here is in the 3D, he's seeing his feminine as independent, decisive. She is fine without him, and he may be observing this through some social media or something, but he's seeing her as this vibrant, energetic, strong, independent person, okay? And so in the 3D, that is how he is viewing her. And he has a little hesitancy because he knows in the 3D he's going to have to address this Seven of Swords behavior with her, okay? And in the 3D, so I said, what does he want? Well, I know he's seeing her as the Queen of Wands. He wants to address the Seven of Swords behavior, and he wants to offer her, he wants union. He wants the Two of Cups. This is the Two of Cups. He wants to come forward. He wants to address this deceit. He wants to address this betrayal, and he wants to get past that, okay? And he wants to get into union. This could be marriage. This could be, this is ultimate union, Two of Cups. And then we have the Ten of Cups right next to it in the 3D. So he wants to create a family. He wants marriage. He wants, this ultimate emotional bliss. But he knows he cannot have that unless the Seven of Swords is addressed with this badass Queen of Wands that he knows he is going to have to deal with, okay? So in the 3D, that's why he's in this Eight of Swords energy in his headspace, okay? Remember, in his headspace, he's trapped. He's a little like, how am I going to address this, right? I left her out. I rejected her. I abandoned her with my behaviors, right? So you remember, he's trying to get the strength in his headspace to come forward, because in his heart, he's made the decision, okay? He's made the decision that he knows that he has to come forward, and he has to come forward and be her vibrational match with this King of Wands. He knows that he wants to marry her. He wants to honor this contract. He wants to take part of this contract, this twin flame. He wants to be on this twin flame journey with her. He knows that. And then he wants to give her something stable. He wants to commit. He wants to dedicate. So in the 3D, he knows he's going to have to deal with the Queen of Wands. He's going to have to address the Seven of Swords, so then he can have this Two of Cups and Ten of Cups with her. You just cannot move forward unless you address it. So that's where we are with the 3D space for the Divine Masculine. So where are we with the 3D space for the Divine Feminine? Well, we have the Three of Cups. She too wants reunion, okay? She wants the Ten of Cups. This is the next repeating card. He just had the Ten of Cups in his 3D want. She also wants the Ten of Cups. She wants him to come forward with the message. It's feeling like it's delayed, right? The Page of Swords is about communication, but it's not as quick enough. It's not like the Knight of Swords where they just come blazing forward. But the Page of Swords is also a little bit of a blunt energy where, when communication comes, it might be quick, it might be blunt, might be a little abrasive. Because why? In the 3D, while he sees her as the Queen of Wands, this energetic, vibrant, independent person, she is also the Queen of Swords in her 3D space. And she's like, I want the truth. I want it now. Tell me what happened and what went down. So in this Queen of Swords energy, I mean, no wonder he's trapped in his thoughts, because he knows that she, yes, she's the Queen of Pentacles, and she's balanced and mature, and she's a hostess, and she's a nurturer, and, she's this stable force. But he knows that she has this Queen of Wands side in her, and definitely this Queen of Swords. So he knows what he's up against. So just to recap, in the 3D, she's embodying the Queen of Swords energy. She wants the truth, and she wants it quickly. She wants reunion with her masculine. She wants the Ten of Cups, just like him, okay, in the 3D. And she wants communication. And it might be blunt, and it might be a little delayed, but it will come, and it's going to have to occur. Because remember, he's in the Seven of Swords. He knows he has to address this. And the Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords, well, they are waiting, okay? So I hope that made sense as far as individual energies. I just want to quickly go over it one more time. Both are in the Three of Swords. They are operating right now in an open wound environment. They are processing their loss of each other. They are processing what happened. They are processing the pain that was inflicted. And they're very much in a place of making sure that they can heal and connect on this wound, okay? He is trapped in his thoughts. He has a little bit of fear around approaching her in his headspace. He knows that he's rejected her and he's left her abandoned. Okay, he knows in his heart space that he wants to commit to her. He has gained some self-esteem and some self-confidence. He has made the decision to move forward and to commit with the Hierophant and the Eight of Pentacles energy, and to give her something solid with the King of Pentacles. Okay, in the 3D, he wants union. He wants to marry her. He wants to create a life with her with the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. But he knows that he is seeing her as a strong, independent person. And he knows that he has to come forward and address this Seven of Swords energy, this deceit, this betrayal, what happened between them that caused this separation must be addressed. And that is what he knows he must do in the 3D before they come back together. In her space, she, again, the Three of Swords is the underlying energy. So she's kind of in a period of which path am I going to take? She's planning. She hasn't made the decision quite yet, right? She's not in the Three of Wands energy because she's heartbroken. She's processing the deceit. She wants him to come forward with forgiveness and be an emotionally mature person so that they can move into better times with the Wheel of Fortune. In her heart space, you know, she's having some obsessive thoughts. She's kind of repeating the play over and over again. What went down, how he deceived me, how he may have cheated, how he may have stepped out. That is going in her brain, in her heart space over and over again. So in her heart, she's reliving the pain. She's reliving the death of the relationship. She is at a stalemate because of that, okay? And in the 3D, she is ready for the truth. She wants him to come forward with the truth. She does want reunion, and she does want the Ten of Cups with him, but she wants him to come forward and provide her with clarity, with some answers, and you know, she'll offer him forgiveness when she is ready. Okay, so the next part of this, I asked, what is the masculine's 3D message to his divine feminine? First card, deception. Okay, this is like the Seven of Swords energy. This is Mystic Moon's Oracle, Twin Flame Oracle deck. This is the deception card clarified by the Eight of Thoughts, which is Queen of Light 1111 and Mystic Moon's Twin Flame Tarot deck. So if you're interested in ordering these, I'm going to have the link in my description box. So his 3D messages, yes, I know I deceived you. Yes, I know I deceived you. Okay, we have Three of Swords for him. We have Seven of Swords for him. And we have Five of Pentacles. He deceived her. He left her out. He rejected her. And then we have the Eight of Thoughts as the clarifier, which is the Eight of Swords, which is in his headspace. So another repeating card. So because of this deception, he is trapped in his thoughts at this time. How to come forward, how to come forward. We know that he will come forward, but his 3D messages, feminine, I am at this time trapped in my head a little bit around this deception, around what I did, okay? And what he's saying is, this is the Summer card, and this is and then was clarified by Divine Assistance, which is let's see, Divine Assistance, it's Aquarius. And so what is happening here with this card is that he's very much this is the Star, okay? He's looking, he has some hope, and he's gained hope through the summertime. So we're still in summer in the United States. So I really feel like, because I've been doing this collective reading since July, I feel like that is when the divine started to intervene and get involved, okay, in this relationship to try to start to set it on its track, because that is when, you know, healing, I feel like, based on my channeling, had really started. The mirroring started. The desire to come forward and communicate from the masculine side started. So in the summertime, he's saying, through this summertime that we are still in, that, you know, we're almost ending, I have felt that I have had some divine assistance. This also means hope. He's also starting to get some hope for the relationship. That is why he has consistently been in this period of commitment, wanting to commit, wanting to come back into union, wanting this 10 of Cups. That is why he's in this space, is because during the summertime, he has definitely started to feel the guidance from, you know, the universe. And he is very hopeful now about this relationship. His last message is barrier and the Two of Swords. Okay, and so this is another repeating card, because the Two of Swords is about decisions. Remember, Two of Swords is here in her heart space, so another repeating card. Two of Swords is at a stalemate. So this barrier, the 7, 8 of Swords energy is a little bit of a barrier. So he's like decisions, right? What decision to make? Again, he's telling you in the 3D, he feels that there's a barrier. He's making decisions. He's a little trapped in his thoughts because of the deception, but he has been divinely guided and he is feeling hope for this relationship, which is why in the 3D, he has the Two of Cups and the 10 of Cups about what he wants with his divine feminine. Okay, hope that made sense. Now, her message, first message is spring with divine connection. Okay, this is the Lover's card. So what she's saying is, and I don't get this as spring, it could be the timing, but what I'm getting from this really is that this relationship is now blooming. Okay, so remember, as I said, since July, I've really been channeling this collective. And so I feel like now the last 4 or 5 readings, this relationship is blooming. People have come to the understanding and their knowingness that this is a divine connection. And so this relationship has really started to bloom. Okay, so this is the first message to her masculine, is this relationship is now starting to bloom, and we are a divine connection. The next message that she's sending to her divine masculine is karmic partner, and it is being clarified by suspension, and this is the Hanged Man card. So this is about you, divine masculine, suspended our relationship. It completely put a pause in our relationship. This is also about his inability to let go of certain behavioral patterns, right? And not operating as an enlightened, mature person. And I'll tell you, as I look through all of these cards, okay, the court cards, he has only come up as kings. Only come up as kings. He's got King of Pentacles, King of Wands. He has King of Cups. There is no knight energy in this individual space. He's coming up as a king now. And so in the 3D message, he is saying to his she is saying to her masculine, this karmic partner situation put us in a period of suspension. Okay, it suspended our relationship. It ended the relationship because you weren't able to let go of certain behavioral patterns, of certain relationships, and that really put a pause on our relationship because you were not enlightened enough, mature enough to let it go. So then the last 3D messages, and again, I don't really get this as timing. What I'm getting this is winter and determination, the 9 of Flames. What I'm getting is, though you iced out our relationship, I am still determined to move forward with you. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying instead of winter as timing, I'm not using it as a season. I'm using it as an energy, because we have the Death card, because we have Judgment, okay? Because with Wheel of Fortune, she's saying, because you iced me out with the 7 of Swords energy, this deceit, this betrayal, this karmic partner that we just talked about, I'm still determined to move forward with you, okay? Bottom of the deck for these 3D messages was purge. Very, very appropriate. We're purging behaviors. We're purging behaviors that don't serve us, okay? And that is this karmic partner situation, this trapping of being thoughts, this indecision. We're going to purge that, okay? We're going to purge that behavior. Bottom of the deck is the Empress, the lady for the tarot. And that is a match again, because the Empress is in his headspace, okay? So those were the 3D messages. Now we have the connective energies. So where are they in their current connection? We have the 3 of Fire. This is the Dreams of Gaia deck. Abundance, the Scribe, and the Four of Water, which is again in the Gaia deck. Okay, so here's what we have. I just want to make sure too that I'm not going to miss any messages, so I may refer to the book. But the Three of Wands, okay, the Three of Fire in the Dreams of Gaia is really all about action. It's all about people wanting to move forward and take action. It's about implementing, okay? It's about implementing this decision. Remember, we had decisions on his end. So this is all about implementing a decision, but it is through sacrifice that this can happen, right? So this Three of Fire is about sacrifice. What are we sacrificing in this in order to move forward? We're sacrificing pride. We're sacrificing ego. We know that we must work hard towards this relationship in order to move forward. So this is the current connective energy. People are going to make decisions. So he's the one who's made the decision. The feminine is still in a little bit of indecision, but she knows she wants to work hard at this, okay? Don't get me wrong. But this Three of Fire is all about making the decision and acting on it. But it's going to take hard work and sacrifice, okay? So then the next card is of abundance. So they are feeling abundant, okay, in their personal lives. Remember, he sees her as this Queen of Wands, independent, fiery, doesn't need me type of energy, right? But connectively, you know, they're feeling abundant. This is about everything coming together, but it's not about possessions, okay? It's not about possessions. It's not about everything that you've accumulated in life. It is about the love. It is about people. It is about relationships. It is about those things that make this relationship very appealing and attracting, which is what is magnetically bringing them back together. They are going to be in this period of abundance. How? Because two things. They are taking off masks. They are ready to be vulnerable. If you look in this card here, the Four of Water, it's very different than in any other tarot deck. Do you see he's scarred? But he's beautiful, right? So he's saying that, you know, he's beautiful on one side of his face, but he's flawed on the other end. This is about seeing the beauty in the relationship and in each other, flaws and all. Yes, we had flaws. We had, you know, behaviors that did not serve this relationship, but through that came this understanding, this knowledge. This is the scribe. The scribe is all about, you know, people writing down things, you know, acquiring knowledge, learning. So what's happening at this time with this current connective energy, with this scribe, with this whole combination, is that they're taking a mental and emotional note of the situation, okay? And the feminine is processing this. The masculine is processing this. They're repeating these thoughts and what happened, these actions in their mind. That's the scribe, okay? Then what they're doing is they're starting to become more vulnerable. They want to take off the masks. They have love for each other. They're ready to address the situation, okay? Because there's this card of action moving forward. They're going to sacrifice their ego and their pride so these flaws can be seen, okay? They're going to take action. There's going to be action. That's in the current connective energy. And they will come to this period of abundance and great gratitude for each other, okay? And love for each other. And they will see that this is the relationship that they both need, that they both want, okay? They're both in 10 of Cups in their 3D space. They both want union and reunion in their 3D space. So in the current connective energy, after they've processed this as the scribe energy, taken off masks, seeing the beauty of themselves and in each other and in their relationship, flaws and all, they will move forward, take action. They will sacrifice their ego and their pride, and they will come into abundance. Okay, that's the current connective energy. So now, what are the blocks to the union? I asked, what are the blocks? I asked for 3 blocks because, you know, who knows how many there really are. But at this time, 3 blocks. The 9 of Earth, the Emotions card, and then we have the 7 of Earth. So with the, I'm sorry, this is the 10 of Earth. So the 10 of Earth in the blockage position. So as you know, the 10 of Earth in any particular deck is all about, you know, everything coming together. It's like the 10 of Pentacles energy, okay? So here, you know, it's like material world, everything coming together. But in the Dreams of Gaia deck, in the light aspect, again, it is about everything coming together. It is about reward. But this in a blockage is like not being able to see all of the beauty around you, right? It's not being able to see that you have every reason to be happy at this time, but you're choosing not to be. Okay, that's a block. And that's what they're learning at this time with this scribe energy. It's also, you know, what they're going through with this Three of Swords energy, right? Processing the heartbreak, processing the loss, processing the betrayal. What they're not realizing is that they actually really do have great love for each other. And so if you're operating in love, if you're thinking around love and that beauty, then they will be able to move forward and remove this as a blockage, which they will, because they have this Three of Fire, which is the card of action, where pride and ego will be sacrificed so they can move forward, and then they can remove this block. This is also a blockage. Emotions is all about being imbalanced in your emotions. Okay, it's about operating kind of in one area and not the other too much. So that could be very much about, you know, I'm too much in my wounds versus in my healing. And so this is very much about being open to the positive emotions, open to learning. This is also about repressed emotions. So if you're acting like you're not upset, if you're acting like this did not break you, and I have to say this because if the Queen of Wands, if you're putting it out there on social media or whatever, like I'm independent, happy, blah, 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 if that's authentic, that's great. But if you're doing it so your masculine can see it, and then, you know, that's not really authentic. So this is about, you know, process your own internal emotions, right? Be authentic about what it is that you're feeling. Do not repress your emotions. Every emotion has its place. It will serve you, but it is all about not staying in those energies and burdening yourself. So if you have rage, express it, feel it, get out of it. If you are sad, express it, feel it, let go of it. So this is about every emotion having its place. And so this is about maybe you're repressing your emotions, or maybe you're not being authentic in your emotions and pretending that you are okay. All right, that's another blockage. The last is the Seven of Earth. The Seven of Earth is all about people being too connected. This is why I said social media with this emotions card, because the Seven of Earth is, you know, where people go into isolation and maybe are just too connected to their gadgets and technology. So what this is saying is, if you have overly retreated or are only finding solace in technology, and maybe that's YouTube videos, and maybe that's you know, Instagram and Facebook and tracking and watching, and not really truly participating in the outside world, that is a blockage. So your blocks here are this authentic self, feeling your emotions and being balanced in it. It is about operating in love. Okay, it is about making sure that you're seeing all the beauty, all the joy, all the great things around you, and that, you know, you're going to be able to get through this and see the beauty and the flaws, and unconditionally love these things about each other and heal from them. That is that other block. And this is about re-entering the world. This is about participating in your world. Do not isolate yourself because of this separation. Separation is an illusion, okay? If you are true twins, you are always energetically connected. There is no separation, okay? So now let's go into future energies. Future energies, we have the Ace of Earth. We've been getting this a lot for this collective. Ace of Earth is about new beginnings in the 3D. So they will come together. They will come together. How will they come together? Because they have balanced themselves out. This is exactly this emotions card. In the future, it's telling me that they are going to balance out themselves. They're going to have a self-awareness. They're going to be aware of themselves, their emotions, of each other. Okay, there's going to be great balance in their emotional selves and their outer selves. This is the Nine of Air, but in the Gaia, this is all about enlightenment. It's about taking masks off, which they are doing in the current energy. And then in the future, They're putting their swords down. It is a time to come together. It is a time to take action. It is the time to communicate diplomatically, get through this situation, get through this heartache, get through this betrayal and loss, and put the swords down so that you can have this new beginning. I believe it. This new beginning is going to happen. So this underlying energy, what was the bottom of the deck? Wisdom. It's wisdom, because they're gaining knowledge. We have the scribe here. We have the self here in the future energy. We have the 9 of air, enlightenment. Okay, so then we have wisdom as the underlying energy throughout. They are very much being enlightened. They are going to be enlightened. Masks are going to be taken off. People have learned through this journey. And that is why this 10 of Cups in the 3D will manifest, is because this couple, this collective has learned their lessons, learned what their life purpose is. They have come in, they've done the work, they understand how to rebuild, and they will rebuild, because in the future we have this Ace of Earth energy. And so now let me tell you what the two cards were that flew out, that I didn't even know flew out, that were like hidden underneath my laptop. The 2 of Earth and the 2 of Cups. I thought, like, wow. So first of all, number 2 is a number of partnership. Okay, and it is about union. It's about coming together. It's about equilibrium and harmony. And that the 2 cards, first of all, 2 cards flew out that I didn't even see, and they're both number 2 cards, and it's the 2 of Earth and it's the 2 of Cups. I was like, I'm still kind of beside myself about this. So what I'm getting from this is, in the dreams of Gaia, the 2 of Earth is about harmony. It's about balance. It's about equilibrium. It's about being able to balance your work, your home, your family, play, all of it. It's about being able to balance that, right? It's about being flexible and adaptable. Then we have the 2 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups in this deck, like many others, and this is another repeating card. It's in his space, okay? It's union. 2 of Cups is union, so that I find this under my laptop. 2 cards, 2 number 2 cards, and they're both about balance and union. I mean, reconciliation even. This is about forgiving each other. This is about reconciling. This is about communicating. You know, those are the additional messages in the Gaia deck. So again, it's reconciliation, it's forgiveness, it's unconditional love, it's union. It's a time to forgive and seek reconciliation in the material world, so you can come into harmony and into balance. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I just feel like that is such a huge, huge message, and it just kind of really touches my heart a little bit, because I have been channeling this collective for a long time, and just to see the growth, and to see the messages, and to see like union, and people becoming more enlightened and more authentic, and it's just amazing to me. So if this reading resonates with you, great, let me know. If it didn't, then this is not your reading. But I really believe in this collective, and I really believe that these final 2 messages were of such importance that I got 2 cards in the number 2. Okay, the number 2 for each card, and it's about balance and harmony, and it's about reconciliation and forgiveness. And the 3 of Swords has come out in the bottom of both of the decks for the masculine and the feminine. And so this is about forgiving, and this is about coming back into union. All right, that was my weekend message to all of you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I know this was a little longer, but I wanted to really give you guys something to process while I am taking just a little bit of a break, and I will be back to you guys on Tuesday. If you want to book your own reading with me, your own personal reading, please reach out to me at queenoflight1111.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.